Hi, everyone. All right, let's talk about 5 reasons why your people may not be giving you their very, very best. This comes up all the time when we work with organizations. I just thought I would drop these 5 things. There's a lot of other things, but these are 5 of the most common. And it's either they're not likely giving you their best, or they may just straight up not be giving you their best. So 5 reasons. 5 reasons. One, they're totally overwhelmed. They're totally overwhelmed. They're having a hard time managing their space. They have a hard time managing their energy. They are being bombarded from all different directions with hybrid work, Slack, like all the things that happen every single day. They may be overwhelmed because they're managing different dynamics in the company that are stressful. They may be overwhelmed because they're managing their leaders, et cetera, et cetera. So, number one reason why people are not likely giving you their very best is because they're totally overwhelmed, and that overwhelm creates exhaustion. Okay, number 2. So overwhelm is one. Number 2 is in relationship to that, they don't feel psychologically safe to tell you that they're overwhelmed. So you've got so much stuff going on and people aren't actually present, or they're made wrong because they're telling you that they're overwhelmed, or they're afraid to tell you they're overwhelmed because they don't want you to think that they don't want you to think that they don't care or they're not invested. So therefore, they're not going to actually tell you that they're overwhelmed because, one, they'll be made wrong for it. 2, they feel like they're going to look like they don't know what they're doing. Or 3, the vulnerability is hard. So psychological safety is number 2. They're not feeling safe. Most extreme cases that we see is somebody says, hey, I need help with this, or they give feedback or whatever, and then they're made wrong for it and they're actually punished for it. So there's the extreme case of not having psychological safety. The less extreme case is people just being afraid to be vulnerable and tell the truth about what's going on. So psychological safety is number 2. Number 3, communication. Communication is not clear. Expectations are not defined up front. What I think the expectation is and what my direct report thinks expectation is, I might not have been really clear in my communication, so we're not actually aligned. So therefore, communication is not clear. It's stressful, and we spend a ton of time reworking communication. I think I saw something recently. I don't have the number exactly off the top of my head, but I think it was like $7.8 trillion are spent a year in bad communication, redoing it. Oh, and that employees spend an average of a day, 7 hours a week, a day, redoing communication, reworking communication. So communication's not clear. Expectations haven't been set in a really, really effective way. So therefore, your people are likely not giving you their best. And when I say your people, I mean your direct reports, your team members, even you, the people that you report to. So this is just a human being thing, but I want to presence it here. Those 3 things so far. So number 1, overwhelm. Number 2, psychological safety. Number 3, communication. Here's another one, appreciation and being valued. This is number 4. Your people are not feeling appreciated and valued because most likely everyone is going fast and nobody thinks to actually stop and say, hey, thank you. I see you. Thank you for that extra mile. Thank you for the work that you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So being appreciated and valued, that's a huge thing. 37% of employees said they would rather have recognition than anything else. It even came up above financial rewards. It came up above even mentoring. 37% of people said that being recognized, and this doesn't mean being thrown a parade or getting an award, but just being recognized. I see you, I care about you, I appreciate you. That was the most important thing to them in feeling engaged and like they wanted to give even more in their organization. So appreciation and value. And then the last one, we're just going to chalk this one up because there's about 10 more I could give you, but I'm just going to give this to you as honesty. Presence and honesty. Let's combine. Let's do a twofer. Actually, it's kind of 6, but honesty, telling your people the truth. If you are not being honest with your people, especially if there's big things going on in the organization, you're going through reorganizations, you're going through reduction in forces, you're going through changes in leadership, you're going through anything, the impact and the cost of not being honest with people about what's going on, even if that honesty is, there is stuff going on, I can't exactly tell you everything, this is what I know right now. The impact of not being honest about what's going on is it creates an energy of secrecy. It creates an energy of carefulness. And then what's going to end up happening is your people are spending all their time and energy worrying about what's happening next, worrying that you know more than you actually do. So a culture of honesty, if you are not coming to the table honest and present with your people, then you're creating more focus on people protecting themselves, CYA, worrying about what's happening, lots and lots of fretting. So they're not going to give you their best. They're just not. They're not going to be focusing on creating your best solutions. They're not going to be focusing on designing beautiful things. They're not going to be focused on creating an amazing culture. They're going to be focused on the drama and trying to figure out what's going on and feeling that energy of carefulness. The other thing that ends up happening, and I saw this actually personally happen last week, the other thing that happens is when we're not telling each other the truth, there is an energy of secrecy, and there's a weird energy that we can't always articulate what it is. And so the human beings, ourselves, myself, everyone, the default is going to be to make up something terrible. So the more you can be honest about what's happening, you can start to decrease some of that ambiguity. That decrease in ambiguity can help to decrease some of the anxiety. And now you've got people actually focusing more on the right things. And then the last one, number 6, it's a bonus for all of you, is presence. If you're not actually present with your people, if you can't stop and be present with them and just give them even a minute of just pure presence to show them that you care, they matter, you're here. If you're not present, that means you guys are all operating in a way that is half conscious. And so you're going to be creating a lot more work, a lot more drama, a lot more noise, and nobody's going to actually get anything done. So we want to address those 6 things. All right. So let's go through them one more time. Overwhelm, psychological safety, communication, appreciation and being valued, honesty, and presence. All right. So those are your 6 things. Check for yourself. How are you personally doing as a leader? How are you personally doing as a leader? How are you doing? Really, really look at that. Now I want you to look at your team, your leadership team. How does your leadership team do? How are you guys all at doing, or all of you at doing those 6 things? And now look at your organization. Now look at your organization. This is some of the soft stuff. This is the stuff that we hear at ACI all the time. Oh, I don't have time for the soft stuff. We just got to get stuff done. We don't have time for that. It's not actually valuable to us. We just got to get stuff done. Those 6 things I just gave you are secret sauce for helping you create a more positively contagious culture. They're the secret sauce for helping you to create more compelling, inviting leadership. So really check yourself on those 6. Let me know in the comments how you're doing with those 6. If you're interested in learning more about how to address those 6 things, please reach out. We have all sorts of good stuff happening in the Positive Energy Workplace Initiative. Of course, I'm always going to give you a call to action at the end of these videos, but I hope this was incredibly helpful for you to start thinking about those 6 things. Join us for anything we've got going on, because I will continue to expand on this particular topic. But I really want you to get those 6 things right, because they're low-hanging fruit for you to create more of the culture and the leadership that you want to create. Okay, take care of yourself, and